Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is I, Jolting Joe, coming to you from my back porch on Tuesday, March the 7th. And a balmy March day here in Houston, Texas. It's in the 80s today and also very, very humid. All right, well, what are you drinking? What are you smoking? First of all, what are you smoking? I'm still rocking my free cigars, man. I've had these things for months, keep getting them from the golf course. There was a tournament, there was a lot of leftover cigars. I was like, I will take them. All right, so barber pole. Okay, and then last week we had the French press, regular French press, which I'm going to start with today. And then last week we had I think it was the cognac barrel. And then this one here is the bourbon barrel, which we'll get to later. I mean, I'm going to drink it late today. All right, but there's the bourbon barrel one. And then, as you see, though, this is the regular one, which I also drank last week before the show. So that's going to be my after show beer today. So, and I gotta put them in the little cooler here because, like I said, it's 80 something, like 85 degrees out here. All right, so we'll keep that cold. So let's go ahead and put this into our Houston Astros 2022 World Champions. Yeah, baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna be that guy. Ooh, ooh. A little. I got a little shook up apparently. I'm all shook up. All right, here we go. Oop. All right, and this is less than a 12-ounce glass. This is a little snifter here. Oop, and I am dripping. All right. Okay. All right. Cheers, everybody. All right. I know that was hot. Sexy. Mm. All right. All right. So, all right. Mm. Well, let's go to Espen. We had a little bit of news. We had a little bit of news this week. Let's see here. All right. First of all, for baseball, the World Baseball Classic is going to start on Tuesday, next Tuesday. No, actually, shit. No, it starts today, right? I think it's today. So I think is today the 7th or the 8th? What the hell is the day? I think it was supposed to start on the 8th. Today's the 7th. I think it starts today. World Baseball Classic is going to start. Let's see here. Here's a top headline. Jets in talks with Packers and Rodgers, sources say. Would Aaron Rodgers really go to the Jets? I don't know if that makes sense for anybody. Also, too, of course, if you didn't hear for the NBA, John Morant was in a Colorado strip club and apparently did a live stream on IG where he flashed a firearm. I mean, I'm a gun owner. I'm all for carrying guns and shit. But if you're an NBA player, you probably shouldn't be carrying a pistol into a strip club, and you shouldn't be flashing it around when you're live streaming on the IG. So that's the whole thing. Colorado police is investigating Morant, I guess, to see where he got the gun because they were on a road trip. So I don't know if he brought the gun with him, if some of his entourage brought the gun with them, if he legally purchased the gun in Colorado. Like, there's all kinds of questions. We don't fucking know. And I think he's taking a leave of absence from the team. I think they suspended him for a couple of games and stuff until he gets back after that. Let me kind of click on the link here and see what's kind of going on. And then, yeah, NBA prevents him for doing it. Colorado is open carry, but yeah. It says Morant's away from the team as the NBA conducts its investigation. Grizzlies have not given a definitive timeline for his return as far as that goes. Let's see. That's kind of the big stuff. Also, spring training yesterday. Justin Turner, who signed with the Red Sox. I don't know if anybody saw the video, but holy hell. So Justin Turner's got the old school helmet that does not have the face extender. A reason the batting helmets today, or a lot of the batting helmets, not all of them, but a lot of them, have the extender that goes down to the jaw is because a couple of guys did get hit in the face a few years ago. That's probably, I mean, it's pre-pandemic, probably like 2018, something right around that night. A couple of guys, had facial fractures and stuff like that because, you got the ear flap, but the ear flap stops there, so it exposes all your jaw and stuff. So if you take one up and in, for some chin music, and you get hit, it's a really bad day at the office. And Justin Turner's got the old school helmet, doesn't have the extender on it. And pitch was up and in yesterday, and boy, howdy, hit him right in the face. Fortunately, there was no structural damage done, no broken bones, no fractures or anything. Required 16 stitches, but apparently it was just soft tissue. Is swollen and everything, and hopefully he'll be back in action pretty shortly. But you never like to see a guy get hit in the head, and you sure as shit don't like to see a guy getting hit in the face where there's absolute zero protection. And that's kind of what happened with Justin Turner yesterday. So that was really scary scary as shit right there. Okay. Um, yeah, let me see if they real quick if they got a World Baseball Classic uh, thing going on here. Let me just go to MLB. I wonder if they've got anything going. They just got the I just got that. Okay, so maybe it starts tomorrow. So they had a warm up yesterday. Um, let's see. I don't see anything on ESPN. They got just the regular old MLB standings. Let me go to more sports here real quick. I mean, you gotta have something, right? Apparently not. Jesus. Okay. Oh shit. Let me close out Espen. All right. This is great content. But let me go. Let me see if I can find. Let me just go to Google World WBC here. There we go. WBC schedule. Right. And let me go to MLB. See what they say. It does start tomorrow. I don't think there's anything for today. No, I lied. There is a game today. There is a game today. We've got Cuba at the Netherlands, which will air at 11 p.m. Eastern Time on FS1. I don't know where they're playing that one at, but yeah, it doesn't start until 11 Eastern is the start time on that one. Tomorrow we've got Panama versus Taipei, also known as Taiwan, and then Australia versus Korea, and then we've got Panama and the Netherlands. That can't be right. Panamá's playing the Netherlands twice, playing two games tomorrow. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess they're playing two games because China's playing two games on Thursday. That's fucking weird. Yeah, Cuba's playing twice on Thursday. Okay. All right, we'll try to follow along best we can with the World Baseball Classic. All right, so that's yeah, just yeah, we'll get no comment there. All right. Also, too, let's see. Let's go to more sports here. We just to let you know, the Formula One season kicked off. Drive to Survive Season 5. Yeah, baby. All the rhyme on that one. Drive to Survive Season 5. It premiered on Netflix. Now I just finished season 4, and so I got finally caught up on it. And I did watch a little bit of the race. They were racing in Bahrain, is where they were racing at, and um, Max Verstappen ended up winning the Verstappen won the race, followed by his teammate Sergio Perez. So Red Bull finished 1-2, and then the old man Fernando Alonso, who just got back into F1 last year after retiring, he finished third, and then and then Sands for Ferrari finished fourth, and he's going to go on down the list there. And I kind of get on. I don't follow F1 all that much, but for you F1 fans out there, there are certain aspects of F1 I really like. Number one, I do like the fact that the races aren't very long. They F1 tries to get you out of there in about 2 hours, and so like this it was just over a 3 mile track. They only ran 57 laps, and so let me pull out the old calculator because I can't do fucking math. But 57 times three, it's only 171 miles that they go. Whereas, of course, with NASCAR, they go 500 miles, and then when you get enough cautions and shit, you're fucking there for 3 hours, 3.5 hours, sometimes 4 hours. So I like the fact that F1 doesn't take very long. Uh, I also like the fact that F1 does the podiums. I think that's cool. You get the 1, 2, 3 finish, and you get the podium, and I think that's kind of cool too. I will say that, and we talked about this before, though. For me personally, the most exciting part of the race is the beginning of the race because everybody's bunched up together and they hit that first turn. And man, sometimes it's just crazy when they do that. I think the one downside to F1 is that the teams are so they have put a cap now on what the teams can spend. But some of these teams like Red Bull, Mercedes, and Ferrari, they're so far ahead the rest of the field as far as just the car being fast and the car being good that a lot of times the race itself isn't really that exciting. And you kind of saw that in Bahrain. I mean, Verstappen won, I think, by like he was like 20 something seconds up, and then his teammate Sergio Perez, he had a fucking huge gap. So yeah, let's see, he finished. Well, Perez finished nearly 12 seconds behind Verstappen, and then Alonso, who finished third, was 38 seconds behind Max Verstappen, and so. Really, the most exciting part of the race is actually towards the back of the field. Now, it does depend on the track sometimes, and sometimes you do have some tight finishes for first place and second place. We saw that a couple of years ago in the 2021 season where it came down to the last day of the season. But last year, man, Max Verstappen just ran away with the championship. The fucking thing was over with, with like 3 races left, because you only get points 1 through 10, and that's it. So I think NASCAR could do points better too. I've never understood. You've got 20 cars in the field. Why not give number one 20 points, number two 19, and so on and so forth, and last place gets 1 point? Like I've never understood why NASCAR does points the way they do. I don't understand why F1 does points the way they do. To me, you got how many cars in the field? Those are your high points. Number one, first place gets that, and then down the line. So I don't understand why either NASCAR or Formula One does it. I mean, I do like NASCAR a little bit better. I mean, as far as the excitement of the race goes, because they go wheel to wheel, man. And ribbons racing and all that kind of stuff. Now, of course, in open wheel racing, you don't want to go wheel to wheel because bad shit will fucking happen, and those are open, air cars, and it's a little bit more, of course, difficult to fucking race and stuff like that. But it definitely takes a different kind of skill set to run F1, and of course they're all over the world and they're racing these Grand Prix, and they're of course they're going left and right, around the track and everything, and it's good quality racing, obviously, but I just think that there's and the thing about auto racing in general is a lot of it is the car. A lot of it is the car. You got to have a good car to win. I mean, you could put the best driver in the world. You can put Max Verstappen. You can put Hamilton. You can put Sergio Perez. Hell, you could Michael Schumacher in his prime, and you could put them into a mid-tier car, and they're not going to do well. All right, because yes, it takes driver talent, but if they don't have the equipment, they don't do well. And I think there's so much of an emphasis. Now, if you're a gearhead and you love cars, then it's going to appeal to you because that's what you're watching. You want to see the horsepower, you want to see the car perform, and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes in Formula One too, sometimes you only get one pit stop and that's it. And I kind of like it that, like in NASCAR, you've got a bunch of pit stops. Now, there's probably too many, to be completely honest with you. But I kind of like it that sometimes a race can be won in the pits. Whereas F1, that doesn't happen a lot. I mean, it can't happen like if there's a caution or something like that. Somebody comes in early, gets out, early, and then they've already got fresh tires, or they go in and then they get tires. There is pit strategy when it comes to that kind of stuff. But like I said, you're usually with F1, your tops in the pits twice, and that's it. Like I said, sometimes it's hard to make up a little bit of little ground as far as that's concerned. But like I said, I mean, there's both of them got their pros and cons. I mean, you're either a fan of auto racing or you're not. I mean, and I enjoy watching it occasionally. I'm not a huge fan or anything, but I mean that's just kind of a layman, outside fan kind of viewpoint as far as that goes. So there's your kind of F1 stuff. As far as that goes, and we might talk a little bit more F1, as it goes, and I'll see if I can kind of pull it up. But it was on ESPN Plus, and they were racing at night in Bahrain, and it was on here around, brunch time. And so, I was like, yeah, I'm sitting down and watch the race. So I've watched the last few laps and stuff, watched Verstappen win and all that kind of stuff. So, anyway, kind of is what it is. I did not watch any fucking XFL this week. I have no idea what the fuck happened. The Houston Roughnecks are still undefeated. They did beat San Antonio 22-13. The Renegades took care of the Guardians 10-9. Boy, that might have been a horrible game to watch. Defenders and Battlehawks appeared to be good, 34-28. Then the Sea Dragons beat the Vipers on Saturday, 30-26. This week, we got the Roughnecks at the Guardians, the Brahmas at the Sea Dragons. Those will be on Saturday. Two late games, two evening games. And then on Sunday, we've got a late afternoon game and a evening game. We got the Renegades and Battlehawks, Vipers, Defenders. Standings for the XFL. DC lead it is 3-0 in the north. Houston's 3-0 in the south, and you got everybody else. Two winless teams. Vegas is 0-3 and Orlando's 0-3. But there you go. As far as that's concerned. All right, but like I said, I didn't even get to watch it. Like I said, big NBA news was the whole John Morant situation with the gun at the strip club. Give you some quick standings there on the NBA, and we got to talk about the NBA a little bit, with the whole, I mean, load management's killing the fucking NBA, dude. It's just killing it. If you're a casual fan, why the hell are you going to watch a game between, let's say, the Lakers and the Suns, and Chris Paul sitting, and Kevin Durant sitting, and LeBron James is sitting, and Ball sitting, I mean, not Ball. Fuck, who's the other guy for the Lakers? George. Fuck. Anyway, I'm having a brain fart. But anyway, why are you gonna watch if you're a casual fan? Why you just be like, doop, and that's gonna be it. As far as basketball, real quick, NBA standings: Milwaukee leading the way in the West, in the East, followed by Boston, Philly, Cleveland, the Knicks, Brooklyn, Miami, Atlanta, Toronto, and Washington. Chicago just a game and a half out. Indy's just 2 games out. Orlando's 2.5 out, and then Charlotte and Detroit's bringing up the rear. Then in the West, you got Denver, Memphis, Sacramento, Phoenix, Golden State, who is still 27-7 at home and 7-24 on the road. I just wow. Minnesota, then the Dallas, Clippers, Utah, Portland. The Lakers are 1 game out. So are the New Orleans Pelicans. OKC's a game and a half out, and then San Antonio and Houston's bringing up the rear. Houston did beat San Antonio twice because San Antonio, I think, has just phoned it in. But Houston still has the worst record in the NBA. Real quick, let's go to the NHL. All right. And out east in the Atlantic, you got Boston, Toronto, Tampa, Buffalo, Ottawa, Florida, Detroit, Montreal, Metropolitan Carolina, New Jersey, the Rangers, the Islanders, the Pens, the Caps, the Flyers, the Blue Jackets. Western Conference, Dallas Stars still leading the way, followed by Minnesota, Winnipeg, Colorado, the defending champions, Nashville, St. Louis, Arizona, and Chicago. Pacific, Vegas, the Kings, Seattle, Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver, Anaheim, and San Jose. So there's your little bit of hockey update as far as that goes. NFL, we had the Combine this past weekend. I don't know if anybody watched it. Only hard, I think, diehard nerd NFL nerds watch the combine. I never really paid all that much mind, but the big thing that kind of came out of the combine, and we kind of expected this, is the fact that Bryce Young is not that tall. Okay. Bryce Young clocked in at 5'10" and 1/8 inches tall, and of course that's kind of the knock on him has been his size because he's not very tall and he was weighed just over 200 pounds. Now, of course, we do have some. Russell Wilson's 5'11". Russell Wilson's had a nice career. Of course, he's won the Super Bowl. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. Had an off year this year, obviously. But he's been pretty good. Kyler Murray seems to get hurt kind of often, but he tore an ACL. That happens to a lot of quarterbacks. A lot of quarterbacks tear ACLs. I don't think that's a size thing. That was just kind of unfortunate. And then, man, I don't know what. And Tua's not small. Like, Tua's 6 foot. But, man, Tua gets the shit kicked out of him, man. And just thrown around like a fucking rag doll. And that's why he's got so many goddamn concussions. But Jalen Hurts not that big. Jalen Hurts, I think, is 5'11". He's been doing okay so far. So we'll kind of see what happens with Bryce Harper. But I know size is kind of an issue with him, and durability is going to be an issue with him. He's not your standard, 6'4" quarterback with a, rocket cannon arm or anything like that. He's not Josh Allen. He's not Pat Mahomes. He's not Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. Those guys that have height and, an arm. As far as that's concerned, but I had the combine this weekend, so that was going on with that. I didn't watch any PGA. Oh, I did watch the first episode of Full Swing on Netflix, which has already been renewed for a second season. First episode is about Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth and their kind of friendship as far as that goes. But I don't know if I'm going to get the same thing with golf because I know a lot of the PGA guys. I follow the PGA Tour. I know a lot of those guys. I know who's kind of an asshole and who's not an asshole. But I think for Drive to Survive, with not knowing dick about Formula One, was a really good show for me to watch. And it kind of gets you invested in the team principles and the teams and the drivers themselves. And of course, they create a lot of drama and stuff with it. They're trying to do it. So I really do like that show. And if you're a casual golf fan or not or new to golf, I think it's going to be advantageous for that too. And I think we're going to see a lot more of these shows that are going to go forward to try to get interest in the sport, whether it's Formula One, whether it's NASCAR, whether it's golf, whether it's tennis. All right, tennis has one now too. We'll just kind of see how that shakes out. So, but yeah, I think it was pretty. We're kind of in a Oh, we got March Madness coming up, of course. March Madness is going to come up here in the next couple of weeks. Now, when March Madness does hit, of course, we'll get into the madness. I'm wearing my UT hat today, so we'll see what the fucking what they fucking end up doing as far as that goes. As far as the Big 12 goes, let me check the Big 12 standings. I know Texas isn't going to win it, but Kansas I think is going to end up winning the Big 12. But Texas is going to finish second in the Big 12 behind Kansas, just one game back. Big 12's fucking stacked. I mean, Kansas is number 3, Texas is number 7, Kansas State is number 12, Baylor's number 10, TCU's 22. So you've got 5 top. I mean, nearly half the damn conference is ranked in the top 25. So we'll see how the Big 12 does in the in the tourney going forward into going into that. So, but Texas had a big win over Kansas this past weekend. U of H, University of Houston, is still number 1 in the country. We'll see what they do during the tournament as well. So people here in Houston, some people are kind of excited, and once the tournament starts, they'll probably be a little bit more excited, get a little hometown action to root for. So, like I said, we're kind of not a whole lot going on. I'll try to watch a little bit of the baseball classic, but depending on what times these start, because some of them are playing, some of these games are being played in Japan, and so the time difference is going to kind of fuck us a little bit on that. Like I said, that the game tonight's not starting until 10 o'clock here on Central Time. I'm not going to watch fucking baseball game at 10 o'clock at night. I'll be in bed by 10 o'clock tonight. But we got the Wade Baseball Classic coming up. Got opening day at the end of the month. Got March Madness coming up. Like I said, still haven't watched much XFL. Not that anybody cares about it at all. And then the big thing with the NFL next is going to be, of course, the NFL draft. But it's not going to be until next month. Oh, I forgot to mention NFL. Derek Carr signed with New Orleans. That was the big thing with the NFL. How the fuck did I forget that? But Derek Carr signed with New Orleans, 4-year deal. Let me see if I can find it real quick here. Let's see. All right, financial terms were not disclosed, but sources told ESPN that Carr agreed to a deal that could potentially be worth up to $150 million and includes up to $100 million in guarantees. Carr will receive $60 million fully guaranteed at signing and another $10 million once he starts year 3 of the deal. He will earn $60 million in the first 2 years of the contract. And so Carr is going to be, says the Saints entered the offseason more than $50 million over the expected cap, but now need about $18 million to be compliant after contract restructures for several players. And so we'll see what Derek Carr does in New Orleans. But it was funny because they were going to try to, Vegas was going to try to potentially trade Derek Carr, and Derek Carr decided, I was like, I ain't waiving my no trade clause. As a kind of last fuck you to Vegas, and he's like, I'm not waiving it. So the Vegas just cut him, and which made him a free agent essentially once he got cut. And now Derek Carr is a New Orleans Saint. So there you go. There's your NFL news. Like I said, I don't know how the fuck I forgot about that shit. But anyway, all right, y'all. Well, we'll leave it there for today. Appreciate you tuning in. You can always find me on Twitter at JJSportsShow63. That's at JJSportsShow63. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll talk to you next week here on the Joltin' Joe Sports Show. Cheers, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a good weekend. And enjoy all the sports. All right. We'll see y'all next time.